Good morning again from the workshop. It's not really morning, it's actually Sunday, almost midday. Anyways, this is the test MR2 we've been testing for latest days. It's a little bit of an abomination, I would say. It is ugly as hell, but again, it serves to testing, and we always exaggerate it and went very quick with modifications. Very raw stuff, the wing, this is not really a wing, this is a piece of aluminium that we strapped to, were riveted to the lid. The vanes were just, well, you're probably gonna see it on Steve's video, being cut out in probably 3 minutes. The lid has been done again quickly. So we've been testing a lot of stuff, and just quickly to show you the internal shroud that goes around the intercooler. It separates the engine heat from the air that goes to the intercooler, which is extremely important. And this is what we're doing, just trying to get the heat management and the airflow management right. So we have these vanes, they extract that heat from the engine bay. Again, every single part of this modification has been tested separately and in combination to all this stuff. Like we tested that with that, but that without this without that, and this without that, and all the different combinations to see what actually works, what works in combination to something else, and what actually doesn't work. And there's a lot of things that we thought this is really working, and it did not make any difference, and stuff that we thought not gonna make a big difference actually makes a huge difference. So we had the air filter relocation, we had the midsection of the bumper removed. This actually made quite a big difference. We obviously have the shroud from around the intercooler inside the bumper to extract the whole air out, and a lot of other stuff, So we have a pretty good data now to know what works exactly, how it works, how much improvement certain modification gives us, if it's worth doing that or not, and so we can build the stuff efficient. We have the temperatures inside the intercooler, or we having the intercooler working very efficiently. We're really happy with the temps. We know what to advise to the customers, because again, someone would like to do that stuff, not exactly this way, slightly nicer way, because again, that is an abomination. It's just to test, exaggerate and all that stuff, but you can make this stuff much nicer. The extraction, the heat extraction vanes, you can buy the kit, you can buy nice shrouds that are actually looking good. The wing on the back, ducktail and stuff like this. Lots of stuff you can do it nicely, or just the bare minimum. But we know exactly where we stand. We know what the bare minimum means to make it efficient. Because someone asks, I don't want to cut the holes in the bumper. I want everything look standard. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it because the intercooler is not going to work. I'm going to give you a car that's going to overheat the intake air temperatures. It's not going to be good, it's not going to be safe. The engine is going to pull back on the ignition, you're going to lose power, you're going to think something is wrong, and generally it's not healthy for the engine. So, we need that data, we need the knowledge. Knowledge is everything. Anyways, that's done. But the second version, because obviously not everyone is going to be keen on modifying the car or making it look like a race car or truck car or whatever. Wants it to look fairly original, standard bumper, don't want to cut any bumper, any holes or anything. It has to be looking as original, no problems. There's a solution for that, and that is a charge cooler. Now the charge cooler, so the intercooler obviously uses the fresh cold air going through the core to cool itself down. The charge cooler, again, different part of the world use them different names, because that is actually charge cooler too. And that is actually intercooler too. But in UK, this part of the world, we call air-to-air intercooler and water-to-air cooling a charge cooler. What is the right name? I honestly don't know. There's a lot of people, there's a massive debate. To be honest, it doesn't matter. That one is air-to-air, this one is liquid to air. So how it works, you have the air going through the turbo, obviously. Inside the compressor, blah blah, lots of boost, lots of happiness coming out inside the charge cooler through the core. The core is like all these vanes there. Those vanes are actually cooled down by the liquid that comes from here, spreads through the vanes, cools this core down, and then comes out from there straight through the throttle body into the plenum inside the engine, and beautiful noises coming out from the turbo, from the exhaust, and happiness happens. This is how it works. It's not magic. It's how it works. All right, jokes aside, the charge cooler we're using here, it's a decent size. We've seen people using even smaller ones. They are fairly capable, and I actually managed to squeeze it inside the original engine bay, inside between the battery and the engine itself. We thought that was not possible, but there you go, we found the space. It's very tight because we have a bulkhead here, around here, and we still have to get the charge pipe, so which is the intake to the turbo pipe going through here and around here. So it is very tight but possible, and I like the idea because it's all compact, it's all aluminium, a lot of nice welds. It looks proper racy stuff. However, I've changed my mind on Friday. We were having discussion with Steve, looking at data, what we know, what we don't, and we opted for a much bigger charge cooler, just to not take any chances, and also because the ideology that I'm building with these engines, because they're very good engines. I mean, just with the remap, you're looking at 260 to 80 brakes, depending which engine you have, which turbo setup. But like I say, the ideology of the turbo system around I'm building, because again, it's a mass production. You know, this stuff is going to be available, is already available on the shelf. Not the charge cooler yet, but intake cooler, yes, and all the stuff we're going forward. So I want the whole turbo system to be capable of much more than let's call it stage 1, 280 brakes. If you want to upgrade the engine itself to, high energy, to 500 brakes, the charge cooler system is capable of that, no problems. If you want 600 brakes, excuse me, the compressor decided to give me some bollocking for the crap I'm talking about. What was I? So yes, I want the charge cooler to be capable of whatever power you want to extract from the engine. So it's good. You don't have to change all the stuff. Same for the exhaust. I'm gonna show you quickly. Actually, this is, so, okay, let me start from this section. From the bottom, you have the silencer, 3-inch stainless silencer. Is gonna end up with a catalytic converter and roughly here with the tailpipe. Now the catalytic converter is mounted with a V-band, and you can remove it and change it for the free-flowing tailpipe, which is obviously for race use only. Now, whatever you're gonna do with it, it's not my business, but to be road legal, to the obviously latest regulation, the catalytic converter has to be there, and exhaust comes with both catalytic converter and free-flowing tailpipe. In this case, the customer sent us an exhaust manifold and his own turbo, because this is completely different than the standard setup. So the standard downpipe and exhaust would not fit. So this is a custom-made downpipe, specific for him, all 3-inch. As you can see, there are no tight bends. I don't use tight radius elbows for the exhaust because they are restrictive, you know. And I want this to be able to handle much more power than you're ever gonna want on MR2. So again, bigger turbo is gonna push about 350 brakes, maybe 400. I'm not sure, but the system is good for all of the power he wants. So again, we can make this. This is why I'm having the dummy car, because on this car, I mean, that setup, that engine is good. It's gonna go in that car over there. There's Steve. But this is what we have it, because I can build a custom setup or even different intercooler specific for different customers. You right?
Yes, I come with everything the workshop needs. eBay parts and Red Bull.
And Red Bull, lots of Red Bull. Coffee or Red Bull, that's what we need. Was actually explaining that we changed the mind with from the small charge cooler to the bigger one.
Yes.
So the bigger one we say because we know it works 100% because it's been tested. This one we could potentially taking chances of building the system. It's going to be complicated, taking time, and when we're going to test it, it might actually not work.
Yeah, the trouble is that I've seen those people. Oh yeah, you know, so and so makes whatever power on that, but power is irrelevant to temps. It's temps we care about, you know. So Yeah, it might be able to flow enough for 600-700, whatever. But we want temps to be low.
Yeah.
And unless there's proof of what it can do, then let's just go big.
Well, the thing is, we trying to get the most efficient way to possible. Even with the intercooler, to be honest, the temps, what we call the bad temps, they were fully acceptable.
Oh God, yeah.
You know?
Like I said, it's you know, half the temperature of what some production cars call acceptable or normal.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that's rubbish.
No, that's rubbish. Exactly. We went not even half that. Well, half.
About half.
About half. The worst case scenario, about half the temperatures that for the biggest, obviously, names, Porsches and all that stuff, they're acceptable. So
exactly.
We're looking for proper efficiency. Why? Because there is a margin to increase the power. Because if you're not satisfied with 300 brakes, you can have 500 brakes, 600 brakes, 700 brakes, and this system still works.
Why not have the potential?
Exactly. But that obviously gives a bit of complication, because this one, as you can see, it uses a standard battery position. To put a larger charge cooler, we opted to go with the battery relocation. But again, it's not really a big deal. It's very easy.
On some cars, it'd be a big deal, but on these, it's really simple.
On MR2s, it's very easy. It's actually very common to put the batteries in the front of the car for the better balance. People do it on the track cars, on the race cars. Again, it's not a bad thing to do on the road car as well, so it's not a big deal. This is coming off, and then Monday, the big one should arrive.
The what?
Charge cooler, the big one.
Hopefully, yeah. It's been posted, supposedly. So.
Yeah, so Monday or Tuesday we're going to make a video, going to show you the layout. It's good. Anyways, we're up to the other video, but that's going to be much longer, probably boring as well. We're going to end this one here. Okay. And the other one we're going to... I need you, because I tend to make stuff complicated when I explain it more than it actually is.
I don't know, I always think your stuff's pretty good, but...
Well, when it's simple. This is, I don't even know how to start it. But we're going to explain why I have a race bike, and why the race bike is in a workshop, and what the workshop have to do with my race bike, and with me actually being back in the workshop.
I've got no idea really, but... Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know where to start either, so yeah, this is going to be funny. Alright, I'll see you the next one.